Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. The Ohio Supreme Court heard the case of a man spending decades in prison for murder who's challenging a trial judge's decision not to waive his mandatory court costs. Darren Taylor was found guilty for his role in a fatal pawn shop robbery near Dayton in 2013 and ordered by a judge to take responsibility for his conduct and pay $6,600 in restitution plus hundreds in fees and court costs. With no assets and only $19 a month in prison-related work wages, the 2nd District Court of Appeals found the trial court performed no analysis of his present and future ability to pay. In its appeal to the Ohio Supreme Court, the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office argued nothing in the law requires a trial court to assess a person's present or future ability to pay the costs. Judges are responsible for upholding the law. They're also agents to help improve the legal system.
We all do understand that there are some problems that we need to address and that we're not alone in that process.
As recently retired Circleville Municipal Judge Gary Dumm approached the end of his final term, he coordinated a summit with local and state stakeholders about a long-standing dilemma in Ohio.
All of us who work in the criminal justice system have some responsibility to make sure that the record keeping and the reporting of convictions, dismissals are all accurate.
The purpose is to keep dangers to society off the streets and keep those with certain criminal histories or mental health issues from obtaining weapons.
The primary responsibility of government is to protect its people. And the consequences of this information not getting into the right hands can be deadly.
Currently, there's no centralized system or database connecting the courts, law enforcement, and those who perform background checks. So, the state's Bureau of Criminal Investigation is trying to get in sync with all 88 of its counties on how to funnel dispositions or criminal reports to prevent red flags from falling through the cracks.
You can feel the groundswell of people who have been dealing with the way that we share or don't share information, that something has to happen and something has to change.
After hours of discussing standard operating practices and proposed improvements, along with analyzing statistics and new legislation, now it's just a matter of getting the technology to do the same.
We can all leave this room with a feeling that we have support and that we will continue to have support, and it will get better as time goes on, and we will all work together to make that happen.
At 150 years old, this unique yet simple structure looks like it did back in 1870. But the inside of the Fulton County Courthouse needed more than just a fresh coat of paint.
I knew that the people of this county loved this building and that they'd love this facility once we got it fixed.
This was Judge Jeffrey Robinson's purpose prior to taking the bench in 2017.
I started practicing in this county in 1980. I was born and raised in Wauseon. If you look at this room and you see what's here now compared to what was here before, this is what I saw.
After years of planning and 11 months of renovations worth more than $4 million, the transformation to a different time and world was complete.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a more beautiful courtroom than what we're looking at right now.
And to celebrate, the court recently hosted an open house which included history lessons from the patriarch of the project.
It was used not only as a courtroom, but it was also used as a meeting hall. There was a piano, they held recitals in here, they did dances.
Along with restoring and cleaning the stained glass rotunda, artwork, and original theater seats to encapsulate the past, the main courtroom and the building benefited from technological, utility, and safety upgrades.
You know, we just felt that it's such an iconic structure to Fulton County, to the city of Wauseon, that we just needed to preserve it, to save it for future generations.
For Judge Robinson, the building's conservation was more than just maintaining a community landmark. It's about upholding a profession emblemized by the environment.
It just beckons of something bigger than yourself. And that's always what the attorneys here try to do. Try to be better than they actually are. Try to do their best work. I think the room adds to that.
And that's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.